I've got 3 visual aids, 1, 2, and you're going to see images. But first, if you don't mind, let me turn off the front lights. So I'll be a bit darker, but what I'm projecting with the beamer is going to be more enjoyable. And someone, would you press the camera?
Yeah, we've pressed.
You have. Thank you. Then I will begin. If you could count the time from now. I'm a bit squeezed. So, 20 years ago, when I returned to Hungary after my college years in the United States, I found that among my friends, nobody knew what Valentine's Day was. They knew what Women's Day was, but not Valentine's. But also, all of them thought that rugby and American football were the same sport. And I didn't care so much at that time about Valentine's Day, but I did become a prophet of the difference between rugby and American football. And this evening I decided to share with you my current views on the topic. I would speak about the main principles of these sports and point out how they're similar and how they're different. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So it all began in medieval times with a game called mob football. The purpose of this game was to get the ball into the other team's end zone beyond the goal line by any means. In doing this, you were pretty much allowed everything except maybe intentionally kill an opponent. During the first half of the 19th century, a major principle surfaced, and that was the rule that you could carry the ball forward, but you can only pass it to a teammate with a backward pass. I would demonstrate this. This is the most characteristic feature of rugby. So if I am headed in that direction, say in that direction, and I want to pass to a teammate, it should be like that. All right. Let's see how the professionals do it. I'm going to give a bit of a demonstration here. Okay, see, 1 pass, 2 pass, and a 3rd pass, and the ball is set down in the end zone, which is the purpose of the game. And this in rugby is called a try. This is what is the most points are awarded for. Now the other main principle of rugby has to do with the fierce fights which used to break out every time the man carrying the ball went down. So in rugby today, whenever someone is tackled, there are strict rules regulating what happens. I'm going to demonstrate that with a slow motion video. I hope it will be enjoyable. And we're going to be listening to very nice music while watching these guys get completely beaten up. Okay, he's not going to be tackled, it's another guy, so wait 1 second. This is just a filling picture, and now comes the main show. So he's going to go down, he's going to get tackled, and the other players coming in on the tackle can only secure their position standing on their feet. We're having difficulties with CEU reception. Now, okay, so the other guys coming in on the tackle can secure their position standing on their feet, and it is only one single player, one designated player in each team who is permitted to pick out the ball out of this formation and put it back into play with a backward pass. He's actually all the way behind here. He's coming around, picking out the ball and putting it into play with a backward pass. Oh, we can enjoy it. Okay, they're not doing a very good job of standing on their feet, but here comes the scrum half, and he puts the ball into play. Okay, let's take a look at the rugby field. We've got the 2 end zones, This is where the ball has to be delivered. But we also have goals. So any player during the game may decide to kick the ball, and that's a free ball for anyone to catch. But if they drop kick the ball, so first the ball hits the ground, and the ball goes over the crossbar between the goal posts, it is what is called a field goal. It's awarded fewer points than the try, but it's a valid way of scoring. Now if you look at the American football field, it looks almost exactly the same, and the field goal rule applies almost the same way. The grid lines are a bit more frequent. Now, when it comes to the tackle, American football is treating the tackle more cautiously than rugby. Let's see this play. So this is American football, and the guy who is initiating the first pass is called the quarterback. So here we've got the quarterback with the ball. He's putting the ball into play, and this guy is carrying the ball as long as he can stand, but when he goes down, the play stops, and it's time for a new lineup. So in American football, the offensive team gets 4 opportunities to move the ball possession down the field by 10 yards. And if they manage to do that, they get another 4 chances. So in American football, nobody would risk losing ball possession with an intercepted pass. So that's why you do not see backward passes. Now this would make American football relatively uneventful. So there's a twist to the passing rule. In American football, 1 forward pass is permitted in each play. And look how exciting that makes the game. This is going to be not only a forward. See, this is the quarterback, and he passes the ball forward. And we've got an amazing touchdown. This is Jerome Simpson playing for the Cincinnati Bengals, and he somersaults over the defensive player. All right, now let me address a question you've been asking yourselves all this time. Why is the ball egg-shaped? Well, it's because of this man, Richard Linden. He used to be making balls for the rugby school in England. And look at the imperfection of his balls. These are not really spherical. And the imperfection was appreciated by English students. So later on it became mandated. And now these games are played with egg-shaped balls. Dear fellow Toastmasters and friends, in the last few minutes, I told you about 80% of the rules of rugby and of American football. So now you can watch these games enjoyably, because you will understand them. And with 11 months, generous 11 months to go until the next Valentine's Day, let me make a suggestion. How about treating yourselves and your loved ones to tickets to a game of rugby? Maybe worth considering. Thank you.
Thank you, Dinesh. Now you have